What if I told you there's one thing, one trait, that could make you unstoppable? Not money, not power, not beauty, but something deeper, something Friedrich Nietzsche believed could make a human, a force of nature. With this one thing, you can rule the world. Nietzsche didn't mean becoming a king or a dictator. For him, ruling the world meant something more personal, more radical. It meant becoming the master of your own existence. Living with such intensity, such clarity, such self-direction that the world around you has no choice but to respond. It's not about controlling others, it's about not being controlled, not by fear, not by society, not by your past, not even by your own weakness. He who cannot obey himself will be commanded. In other words, if you don't rule yourself, someone else will. A job, a routine, a belief system you never questioned, a fear you've mistaken for truth. That's what most people serve. They live like passengers in their own lives, and they call it normal. But Nietzsche believed we were born for more. He believed in the rare individual, the one who chooses to wake up, who decides to stand alone, who dares to live as if their life actually belongs to them. That's what it means to rule the world, not from a throne, but from within. This is the thing. This is the word. This is the force Nietzsche believed separates the strong from the weak. He called it the will to power. But it's often misunderstood. It's not about control, not about politics, not about stepping on others to climb higher. It's something much more personal, much more dangerous. It's the invisible engine that pushes a person to rise, to create, to become more than they were yesterday. The will to power is the part of you that refuses to stay small, the part that whispers, "There's more than this." Even when everything around you tells you to settle, it keeps pushing. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you're scared. It doesn't care if the world tells you to sit down and stay quiet. The will to power says, get up, break through, burn the script, write your own. It's the artist painting through heartbreak, the survivor turning pain into strength, the thinker who dares to question everything, even themselves. This is not motivation. This is not hype. This is the raw instinct to evolve, to shape reality, to assert your existence without asking for permission. And Nietzsche believed this will, not kindness, not morality, not faith. This was the core of life, the heartbeat of all growth, all greatness, all creation. You felt it, haven't you? That strange pull inside you, a quiet voice that says you were meant for more. More than this routine, more than this numbness, more than living on repeat. But life has a way of grinding that voice down. You were taught to behave, to fit in, to not ask too many questions, to follow the rules someone else wrote. And little by little, you stopped listening to that fire inside. You started calling fear practical. You started calling dreams unrealistic. You started calling yourself too late, too messy, too much. You chose silence over risk, comfort over growth, approval over truth. You became a version of yourself that could survive the world, but not one that could change it. And that's what Nietzsche saw in the modern world. People walking around with clipped wings, numb, obedient, terrified of standing out. He called them the herd. The herd needs safety. The herd needs approval. The herd needs someone else to tell them what life means, because they've forgotten how to decide for themselves. But maybe you're not part of that herd. Maybe you've always felt different, a little restless, a little rebellious. Maybe you've always known deep down that you weren't born to follow, and yet you keep hesitating. You scroll, you wait, you shrink. You dream in secret because you're afraid of what people will say if you want more, if you become more, if you stop apologizing for your hunger. But here's the truth. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you your power, and no one will ever give you permission to become who you really are. That's your job. Most people will live their entire lives and never touch the edge of their own potential. Not because they didn't have it, but because they never claimed it. They were afraid of failure, afraid of judgment, afraid of the loneliness that comes with choosing yourself. But listen to me. The price of ignoring that voice inside you is far greater than any of those fears. Because if you keep abandoning yourself to be accepted, you'll wake up one day and realize you don't even recognize your own life. That is the quiet death Nietzsche warned us about. Not the death of the body, but the death of the spirit. So if you felt that ache, that deep, silent scream inside you saying, "This is not all I am," then it's time. Time to stop asking who you're allowed to be. Time to stop waiting for the right moment. Time to remember what you already know, that you are powerful, that you are wild, that you are not here to blend in. You are here to become, and the will to power. It's not somewhere out there. It's already inside you. Yes, the will to power is already inside you, but it's buried under habits, under fear, under everything you were told you should be. So how do you awaken it? Step 1. Stop lying to yourself. You know what you're avoiding. You know what you keep putting off. You know what version of yourself you've been faking just to feel safe. It's not a mystery. The will to power doesn't grow in fake light. It grows when you step into the real, even when the real is ugly or hard or lonely. Start by getting brutally honest about your life. Where are you playing small? What are you tolerating that's killing your spirit? Who are you pretending to be? And then, step toward the resistance. Every time you move through something uncomfortable, you become stronger, you become more. The path isn't glamorous. It's not meant to be. It's showing up when you don't feel like it. It's keeping your word to yourself. It's choosing discipline over distraction and meaning over comfort. It's waking up early to build the thing no one believes in but you. It's saying no when people expect you to say yes. It's risking being misunderstood because staying silent would cost you your soul. You will lose things, people, patterns, parts of yourself. But what you gain in return is you. Every time you face something you used to run from, the will to power sharpens. Every time you act from who you want to become, not who you've been trained to be, you reclaim your life. This is how it starts. Not with a loud explosion, but with quiet, repeated acts of self-respect. You begin to realize that no one can give you freedom because you were never truly caged. You were just afraid to walk out of the gate. And once you do, there's no going back. You won't even want to. To rule the world is not to wear a crown. It's to walk into a room and not need one. It's not about how loud your voice is, but how deeply your presence is felt. To rule the world is to stop waiting to be chosen and start choosing yourself. It's when you no longer need to impress anyone because you're already living in alignment with something higher, your own truth. It's when you've burned through the lies, shed the masks, and stood fully in who you are. Even if your voice shakes, even if your hands tremble, even if you walk alone. Because ruling the world isn't about dominance, it's about inner authority. It's when no one else gets to define your worth. It's when your values are not for sale. It's when your life stops being a reaction and becomes a creation. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. Friedrich Nietzsche. So find your why, hold it close, let it burn through everything that no longer fits. Let it be your compass when the world tries to confuse you. Let it anchor you when life shakes you. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to remember, you are not here to obey. You are here to become. And if you dare to do that, fully, fiercely, honestly, then no matter where you stand, no matter what you face, you already rule the world. So if you're still watching, maybe something in you is already waking up. Maybe you've known all along that you weren't meant for smallness. not meant to shrink, not meant to play dead while your soul still breathes. You don't need more time. You don't need someone's permission. You don't need to wait until you feel ready. Because the truth is, you already are. You've always been. This is your moment. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. So go, create, speak, build, walk away from anything that silences your fire, and walk toward everything that calls it out of you. Because with this one thing, this will to power, you don't just survive the world, you become the kind of person who shapes it. If this woke something up in you, don't let it fade. Like, share, subscribe, not for me, but for the version of you that refuses to stay asleep. Your journey is yours, but you don't have to walk it alone.